They don't call it the silly season for nothing. There was a time, not so long ago, when having 5 children was an exercise in organized chaos. Never mind the fact that it earned me a qualification far beyond my law degrees. Every festive season, I used to take my children Christmas shopping to buy gifts for each other because I wanted them to learn the beauty and the importance of giving to others. That was the intention. But those shopping trips tested my resolve beyond anything you can imagine. I spent my time looking for them in the lost and found, putting out little skirmishes, trying to mediate between those that wanted to buy the same present for the same person, taking this one to the bathroom, finding food for that one. Literally, after those shopping trips, I was beyond exhausted. And my dear husband, of course, had worked out exactly how to avoid those shopping trips. But he was a person who loved to give me lists, alongside these children. Wow, it was quite something. Anyway, there were very many funny moments over those years. And I look back on them and I think to myself, we need to laugh at ourselves sometimes, right? So I want to share a couple with you so that you can see what my other life is about. This was earned and learned. It wasn't always calm and composed like this. In any event, so for 1 year, I was doing my normal planning of everything because honestly, I needed to plan to make things work. And on this particular day, I had planned to do my festive grocery shopping, which I absolutely hate, early in the morning, before the rush got there. In any event, so on this particular day, armed with a couple of kids, I went down to the local grocery store with my long festive list, and I was going to be in and out of there in record time. Well, the shop was pretty empty. I went up and down the aisles, selected the items that I needed, put them into the trolley. The children were their normal selves, but not too bad so early in the morning. In any event, I went through the till, paid for my groceries, patted myself on the back, took the children, got into the car and went home. But half an hour or so later, I decided to separate the festive items from the non-festive items for easy access at a later stage. I started looking for the cream and the turkey and the Christmas crackers. I couldn't find them. So I thought, I've left the groceries in the boot. So I went outside to the car, opened the boot, no groceries. Light bulb moment. I realized that I must have left those groceries at the grocery store. Well, I had a bemused husband, but I was not amused. So I got into the car, drove all the way back down to the grocery store, feeling incredibly stupid. Walked in, hoping that my groceries hadn't become a donation to somebody else. And there I spotted my trolley by the local kiosk. So I walked over there to retrieve it, and there were a couple of store assistants smiling at me, commenting, of course, "We wondered when you'd be back." Embarrassment 101. What could I do? I smiled, thanked them graciously, and went off with my trolley, feeling like a total fool. But you know what? You have to laugh at yourself sometimes. In any event, another year, another embarrassment. As I mentioned to you, my late husband enjoyed his lists. And on this particular day, he wanted me to go to the bottle store to get some liquor for an event that we were having at New Year. Now, I'm not too clued up on this alcohol stuff. And once before, I had shown my ignorance by buying him a bottle of bourbon instead of the other type of whiskey. In any event, he was having a friend to visit who drank a specific whiskey. So on that day, he had made me one of his normal lists with the list of alcoholic beverages that were needed, and he told me to get exactly what was on the list and not to buy any other whiskey than was on that list. After finishing all my other errands on that day, I left the children in the car with the nanny, and I went into the bottle store to fulfill this list. So a very kind shop assistant was running backwards and forwards, getting me what was on the list as I was reading it to him. So I read down and down the list, and he brought each one of the items and he put them on the counter next to me. And then I got to the whiskey. And I said to him, 1 BTL Famous Grouse whiskey. So he went to the shelf and he brought back a bottle and he put it onto the counter. Now I had been warned to bring the correct whiskey. So I picked up the bottle. I didn't see BTL written on it. So I said to the shop assistant, "Is this BTL?" And he looked at me a little puzzled, and he came over to look at the list. And he said to me, "Does BTL not stand for bottle?" Oh my gosh. If ever I had wished for the earth to open up and swallow me, it was definitely that day. I can't believe that I even asked something like that, or I didn't see it coming. But in any event, I very dignifiedly put the items through to be paid for, wrote out a check, and handed it to them. And as I did that, I realized that not only did I leave my dignity behind, but I was also leaving my identity. Oh well, they could have a chuckle on my behalf for some time to go. But I must admit, I was rather irritated by the fact that only that particular item had the words BTL next to them. You know what? Those days were fun. I've changed somewhat since then. There's peace. There's tranquility. I don't have those rush shopping trips. Thank you, online shopping. And my children have grown up, and they're navigating the silly seasons of their own. But moms, dads of little ones, enjoy those moments. They don't last forever, and they're actually fun in retrospect. You know, I've often thought to myself, if I could turn back time just for one moment, I'd love to be back there again. But now I get to share the silly season in a different way. It's been such a pleasure to share this pause with you today. Remember, your voice matters. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell for the next Tia German.